Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a very important video for you today. This is holiday season. And you know, being in prison, I lost a lot of holidays. I lost 11, I think it was 11 straight Christmases that I lost. You know, one of my biggest fears when I was in prison is something happened to my kids or my ex-wives or something like that, because I care about them and my family members. And I wasn't out there to protect them. So I'm trying to do stuff because, you know, it's funny, while being in prison, you talk to the best criminals in the world. You want to talk about an education level, and that's where the prison system is all screwed up. When it gets to a certain time in prison, it becomes not rehabilitation at all, even self-rehabilitation. You know, it's luckily that I got into the law to become who I am, and I consider myself a pretty good guy. Some people say, fuck you, you're still a criminal, but that's their prerogative, obviously. I don't believe that, and a lot of you guys don't either, so thank you for that as well. And you know, it's funny because when I answer comments, I even still get them, and I don't know if people are just trying to get under my skin or what some people call them trolls or whatever. It doesn't really bother me. This video, though, is going to be about robbery prevention for you. Anybody going out Christmas shopping, anybody going out to a store, especially now because criminals are on the rise. And I say, what do you mean on the rise? Because of the pandemic, money is short, people are a little bit crazier, and they're going to take more risks. But the malls, the stores, and everything is open. Obviously, people want to go shopping. It's a festive season. I enjoy this part of it. I happen to be an Amazon guy. That's the best way to really not get robbed. Obviously, you can get robbed anyway, but if you didn't watch my podcast, I did a podcast not long ago, or just did it. It was about a scammer trying to scam me, and I called him and cursed him out and all this. It's a pretty crazy show, but you'll enjoy that too. Well, robbery prevention, you know, I look online and always to do research on videos, and in this video, it's amazing I didn't have to really research at all. But there are some things here, even after getting robbed, if you get robbed, I often think about this, and I actually tell people this all the time. If you go to a mall, the first thing you should do is obviously use a credit card. Don't use cash. Don't bring cash. Cash is not good anyway. You can't get anything back. Don't use a debit card, because if you get a debit card stolen and the money gets taken out, it's a lot harder to get that money back than a credit card. Credit card, you just refute the charge, and within whatever days, I get credit cards stolen all the time. Don't ask me, maybe because I'm so much online. Even if it's stolen, I think there's theft protection on a lot of cards, even though you don't know it. Well, also, believe it or not, in the stores, if you get robbed in a mall area or in a store, a lot of times the store itself will reimburse you for stuff. They don't want a bad name if people get robbed in their store, and they don't get their money back and stuff like that. So the first thing you got to do too is go to that officials there, the manager. There's going to be a police report if you get robbed. And I'm talking about now strong arm robberies. Now, strong arm robberies can get dangerous. If it's a professional guys like myself weren't as dangerous as you'd think. Yes, we were dangerous. Yes, things can go wrong and stuff of that nature. But we're not out to hurt anybody. We're not out to do it. We're not crackheads. We're not drug addicts. We're a person who had a mission, got it, and done. Some thieves in parking lots and stuff of that nature are people who are opportunists, either drug addicts or stuff like that. And they worry me more than anything. Obviously, if they see a woman or even one or two women who look a little bit defenseless, obviously trust your instincts. Most people have pretty good instincts. You know, if you see something not right, it doesn't feel right, the lighting is off, something in that area, you see people lingering, don't go out. Don't go out of that store. In all stores, you can go ask for security to walk you to your car. You can do that, and they'll have people from a Walmart to a Target to any store, and they'll actually walk you to your car. Obviously, there's cameras, but again, when you're dealing with crackheads or something stupid, they're gonna not give a shit about that camera. And everybody goes, "Oh, why would they do it? They're on camera." You know, it's like a house alarm, as I tell people. I don't want you to have a silent alarm so we catch the person later when he breaks into your house. I want you to have an alarm that goes off that blows the frickin', you know, windows out of every neighbor so that guy runs. I don't want him to be in that store, in your house or that store, and you get caught with him, and before you know it, there's either a hostage situation or a violent situation. I always say, get an alarm. They have a cheap alarm for houses. You should also think about this. They have a thing in Home Depot and stuff. All it is it's a box with a beam and I'm not promoting anything here. It's a box with a beam that crosses your door. You put it on one door. I actually used it when my dad had Alzheimer's disease. When I first got out of prison, my dad had Alzheimer's disease, and I had to take care of him. Well, he would wander. So what I did was I bought one of these alarms, and if you break that beam, a piercing alarm goes off. Now you want that. You could put that any door, mirror, door, window, anywhere you want, especially glass doors. I always say to do that because if anything gets broken or something breaks that plane, there's a piercing alarm and the person usually runs. Obviously, yes, if you have the cameras after that, that's great as well. Show confidence. You know, most people don't show confidence. Walk with your shoulders back. Keep an eye out. Look around. Listen, targets are targets for a reason. They're targets because they're not making good choices. They're fumbling around on their phone. They're walking to the car with their phone. I see that all the time, and I go, this person is out there. They have no clue what's going on. If you're in a store and you're ready to head out, the first thing you do is you take your keys out of your pocket in the store, in your bag. Make sure you have your bags. Make sure you're ready to go, and you have your keys in your hand. The next thing you do when you start, you go outside and you look around. Obviously, you see nobody around. You walk to your car. Hopefully, you were smart enough or got lucky enough to park close as you can to the store. But a lot of times you can't. And you still got to go to the store. You're in there a while. You had dinner at the food court. Whatever you did, you head out. It's a little dark, especially up north now. When you head out, you still got to head out. I'm not telling anybody to act scared in this world. Don't. Just be cautious. You have your keys in your pocket, in your hand, and you get to your car, and you get in your car, put your bags in your car, you start your car, and you leave. Literally. Most people, and this is crazy, I see it all the time. A woman will get out, she'll fumble, get her keys, open the door, she gets in her car, and what does she do? She gets on her phone. Gets ready to text somebody, ready to talk, see if she had any messages. She stays right there. That's the worst thing you can do. I get you wanting to get on the phone. You know what you do? You get in your car, you turn your car on, turn around, pull to the other end of the parking lot. Pull to somewhere you don't see anybody. Pull over, make sure your doors are locked, check your phone there, and then get on your way. Listen, if somebody's staking you out or looking for people who are making mistakes, the first thing they're going to do is look for a person who is, I call them doo-doo-doos, or a little lost in space a little bit. Now listen, we all get that way, don't get me wrong. But when you're out in the public, especially during Christmas time, especially if people know you have presents and money and whatever else you might have on you, and it could be jewelry. They might think you're jewelry shop. They might have saw you jewelry shopping for a watch for your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or earrings. They might have watched. People are very observant, especially criminals. Listen, I was one of the best there ever was. And I'm not proud of that. I just learned my skill over so many times and being around so many people in the criminal world. I'm trying to pass this on so you don't get robbed. You don't get hurt. And if I can prevent one person from on this whole channel from not getting robbed, you know this video is worth it. Don't look like an easy target. And that's by being on that phone, being that person that's getting to the car, fumbling for keys. They realize you just don't know what's going on. I get it. You say, well, I parked right there and there's a camera right there. All well and good. Cameras never bothered me. If a guy's wearing some kind of mask, especially if it's up north somewhere in Canada or in a cold climate, people have masks. People, and not on purpose, like to keep themselves warm. They'll have gloves so they don't look bad. Very hard to pick that person out. And they don't have cameras following you everywhere you're going. So it's not like, oh yeah, they might even catch the guy, but what good does that do you if he already took your stuff? Hopefully just takes your stuff, doesn't hurt you, sells it for the drugs. You're never going to get your stuff back. So big deal. Now you're fighting that battle, getting your money back from credit cards and stores and stuff of that nature. So besides being observant, remain alert at all times. So you never let your guard down. And again, I'm not trying to scare people, and I'm not trying to let people feel like, oh, you're going to get robbed. It's just about preventing robberies. When I talk about robbing a store and stuff, and I'll get into this later, I often tell people to put up a sign. Put up a sign in your store that says, off-site monitoring. Now, that's going to prevent a professional like me from robbing you, because I don't know if I'm being monitored already, casing it. I don't know where that's going at that time, how much time I have left. Obviously, there's ways around that. and I'll get into that in another video. But on this one, you as a person need to be observant. I get a kick out of people say, hey, I'm a man, he's never gonna rob me. Listen, you can rob me. I'm fucking 5'9", 250, and pretty good fighter. You could get fucking robbed. Guy comes up to me with a gun. What do you think I'm gonna do? Try to grab his gun? Fuck no. I'm giving him whatever I want, whatever he wants. Come on. You can't be stupid. Nothing is worth your life. No money, no watch, no fucking thing you bought in a bag is worth your life. And trust me, people die this way every year, and that's why I'm doing this video. So don't think just because you're a guy, you're not gonna get robbed. In fact, if I'm gonna rob someone, I'm gonna rob a guy, because I always think they have more money on them, or they bought a nicer gift for their girlfriend. I never robbed this way, but I used to hear guys in the prison talk about that. Oh, fuck them. I hope sometimes they'll just knock you out. They'll hit you with a fucking crowbar in the leg. They'll fucking put you on the ground, depending on how crowded it is, stuff. Guys think just because they're a guy, they can't get robbed. In fact, you're probably more apt to get robbed. Women, hopefully they start getting smart. Obviously, they're prey. You know, I always tell people about predators and prey. Well, obviously, anybody can be a prey in this situation. Always try, if you can, if you think you're gonna be in that area, park in a well-lit area. Listen, criminals love darkness. They love darkness. They don't want light. They hate light. Even professionals, they don't like light. They don't want to be around light. They don't want to be where a light is shining on them. So if you're going to park and you know you're going to be in there a while, park near a light. Look up, park near a light. Try to get as close as you can, but look where there's a light. You know, some of these places aren't lit too well. They got huge parking lots, and what do you think they want to do? Save money on lighting, obviously. But get to at least a lit spot as you can. Hopefully, if you can, be with a friend. Multiple people does help. You know, if you're a woman just walking alone or a guy walking alone, you're more of a target than if there's 2 of you or 3 of you. But I also see 3 women just gabbing away, getting a car, and they're all targets as well. Again, what I tell you how to do it, how to stay out of getting robbed, goes for 1 or more people. So remember that. I'm trying to help you on this. Again, always carry your keys in your hand. That's very, very, very important, because this way you can get in your car and lock your door. And again, once you get in your car, you lock your door, you put the key in ignition and get the fuck out of there. Don't hang around. That's the worst thing you can do, because I've seen cases like this. A guy used to tell me he used to love when a person comes out and they get in their car, and he would come up right behind them, so they'd either back into him or he would hit them pulling in, hit their door. They get out, and now they're a victim. The guy's already got a stolen car, or he's got a car that, you know, it's such a piece of shit he don't care that he hit it, he's fucked up. Most of these guys I was around were professionals. So they would actually come in and tap you or hit your door or scrape your bumper, and you get out, oh my God, you hit my fucking bumper, all of that shit. First thing you ever do if somebody does that is you call 911 immediately on that phone right there. Call another person and stay on the phone. You don't have to hang our phone up. You call 911 and say, I was just hit, I'm a little bit nervous, I don't know what's going on yet, and they'll tell you to stay on the phone. Now, if he sees you on the phone, a lot of times it might just be okay and he leaves. Or, you know, not just leaves, okay, we had an accident. He doesn't think about robbing you. The minute he knows nobody's around, nobody saw this little scrape, you're not on the phone, anything, all of a sudden out comes a weapon or out comes something and you're in the car, hopefully not getting raped or some crazy shit, which does happen again. Listen, rape is so sick in my mind. Those people are wackos, but they're out there. And they're out there. And, you know, when you're a vulnerable person, whoever it is, guy or girl, listen, things can happen that are bad. So get on the phone. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, listen, some guy hit me. It's late at night. I'm in a parking lot. Please send help. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to stay on the phone. They'll tell you to stay on the phone. You stay on the phone. And at least he sees you on the phone. He's going to think twice maybe about understanding, because you're on the phone. And you can get out of the car and say, don't worry, you can wait here. I just called the police. They're on the line. And at least he knows that's coming. If he grabs your phone, tries to do something, that can happen. Obviously, nothing is worth your life. So you just give it to him. You give him whatever the hell he wants. It doesn't mean shit. And hopefully he gets the fuck out of there. And here's the next point. If you are robbed, you make your personal safety #1 priority. And you know, that everybody says that. I think I would have a problem with that personally. I'm a very aggressive man. So I would go after somebody and try, and it's wrong. Obviously, if I don't see a gun, if a guy's got a gun in my face, I'm not going to be an idiot. But you know, a lot of times men want to do stupid things and they end up getting shot, getting hurt, or getting hit with something. And trust me, you're not Superman. This isn't the fucking movies. This isn't the Avengers. So remember that. Try to observe everything you can if you get robbed. When I say observe, I mean physical characteristics of the robber: height, weight, race, what he's wearing, smells, anything that you think will help. Obviously, they're going to change things, but any kind of height, weight, black eyebrows, color, something like that. You might be asked. It's hard, don't get me wrong. I love these people. Oh, didn't you get that? Fuck, how the fuck do you know? You know, I used to do a drill with people. I would, you know, tell them about this when I did a couple of speaking engagements, and I didn't say a word. I had a girl talk to people later. I'd be on the stage, I'd say, hey, you talked to a girl before? Yeah, what was she wearing? I don't know. People just don't observe. It's not in our checklist of doing things unless you're trained to do that. I don't want you to have to train to do, but try. Just get as much. First, safety. Make sure you're safe, period. Listen, I can't emphasize that enough. Make sure you're safe. When you call the police, make sure you're in a safe spot when you call the police. I always say call the police immediately, of course, but if there's somebody right there and he sees you reach for a phone, he might shoot you, of course you're not going to do something. When you're safely, or he left, you immediately call the police. The next things you do is, obviously, you don't mess with the crime scene. Anything can be used by the police. He could have dropped something. He could have left prints if he didn't have gloves on. It depending on how deep they go to police, they can get DNA. They can do a lot of things today that technology has that we didn't have. Now, you helping them observe and getting that and saying, hey, listen, he was over here, he was over here. He went in my car, he went through my glove compartment. He took his glove off, he went through my glove compartment. He went here, and you know, if God forbid if he touches you or something of that nature, obviously that's a whole different level of crime, and that person's going to be wanted a whole lot quicker and more. And you try to observe everything you can, and it is so hard. Don't think it isn't. It is very hard. If anybody is around and you scream and a guy sees him, ask him to stay till the cops come. Or not only that, for your safety, just stay. I mean, you're going to want somebody, but don't try to ask him, did you see him do this? You guys start maneuvering stories before you know it. Your story's not right. And it means a lot. I mean, let the cops get the story from him. Let them get him from you. And that's it. Cops know that people are under stress. Cops know that obviously eyewitnesses aren't a great tool they don't use. It's really not. A lot of people don't get that. They think, oh, I got an eyewitness. Eyewitness testimony is proved to be very false. I mean, it's a shame there's a lot of people in prison for that, because you'll swear it, and you're not doing it against the guy. It's just that you believe. Your brain just does that. It's something it's weird. Obviously, write down all suspect information immediately. The more you write down quickly, I'm learning that now. You know, I always say I'll never forget. I have a good memory, which I do. I have a pretty good memory. But, you know, I'm finding myself, oh, shit, who was that? I mean, little shit later. And it's not just my age. It happens with everybody. You get so much on your mind. Do you really remember it? And if you remember it 24 hours, you remember it a few hours, even an hour later? Maybe not. Write it down right away. I always have paper and a pen in my car. And it's not only that, people I need a number from or something like that, and you know, I didn't get my phone, I didn't have something. I always have a paper and pen. If I want to give somebody something, like a number or something, I always give it to them. But you should always have a paper and pen, not just where your license or registration is. You should have it handy, ready to go. And it's good for habits to get into anyway. I always say that's a good habit, so try to do that. And obviously, once it happens, you know, you'll get the support from the people you love and love you. There are police that have victim advocates, and they are good. I actually work with some of them. I know people saying, well, Larry, you were the biggest criminal. I know, I did, and I'm not proud of that. I caused a lot of harm mentally and not physically. I didn't hurt anybody, but mentally, I know I caused harm. And believe me, I think about that all the time. That's why I'm doing this video, because I want you guys to not get robbed. I hope somebody just thinks about this or passes this on to somebody who's out shopping, or to think they're invincible. And again, I'm talking to a lot of you guys. You're not invincible, because if I wanted you, I never worried about a guy in a store. Remember that. I never worried. I didn't give a fuck how big you were or how badass you thought you were in a store. Never would bother me in a minute. So, I mean, I had a gun, or, you know, I had the jump on you. I had the aggressiveness. I had everything that I used in my tool bag to make the robbery happen. You need to make everything not happen. Now, we're going to do stores and stuff of that nature, but this is a personal one, and I really want you guys to think deep and hard about this video. I want you to think and look and make sure. If you learn one thing out of this video, one thing, I want you to make sure you have your keys in your hand when you go to your car. Get in your car and get the fuck out of there. Get out of that parking lot. Everyone, guy or girl. Take it, start it up, put your shit in, and go somewhere. Because you don't know who's been watching you. You might have been shopping for a nice ring. You might have been shopping at some nice stores, and all of a sudden, the guy has an accident with you. And they put a gun to you. That happens a lot. So be observant around you. Get away from that area and stay where you're going. Keep an eye on your rear view mirror, guys. Be observant. It's amazing how I do that to this day. I mean, I watch everything. I can feel tension. I can feel if people are looking at me. It's kind of weird, but it's an innate thing that you develop. But that can happen to you, so don't ever think it can't. If you do, you are the next victim. And I don't want anybody on this channel to be a victim. I really don't. So, I hope you learned something in this video. I hope you don't get robbed. I hope you have a great Christmas, because here it is, December 2nd. And, you know, we got a whole fucking month of shopping and festivities, and hope you guys have fun. Hope you like the video. You know I'm going to comment. Make sure you stay safe out there, and let me know your thoughts. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.